Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a plan with me. So I'm going to be showing you all how I set up my bullet journal for the month of April. So go ahead and grab some tea, get comfy, maybe grab your bullet journal, and let's get started. So what I'm doing here is I am just starting with my quote page. So with every month I always have a quote that I like to really start the month off with, and this month I decided to go with this quote that I found on Pinterest. It says, "Nothing changes if nothing changes," and I thought this went really well with everything that is going on currently in the world. There's a lot of changes happening, not only for people with jobs, for people who go to school, but really everything is changing how we know it and how we're able to go out and do things. So when I saw this quote, a quote that surrounds its whole premise around the idea that change is the reason for change, and change can be really scary. I know it's something that scares me and it scares a lot of people, so I thought this quote not only looked at change as a good thing, but it also looked at the changes that are currently going on in the world as positive, that something good is going to come out of it, or at least that's what I saw this quote as. So I decided to add it into my monthly spread this month. And then we go ahead and we go into my cover page for the month of April. I went ahead and went with a more kind of Easter spring theme. I love Easter. It's one of my favorite holidays because it's time that I get to really be with my church family and be with my family. But it's also during spring, which is one of my favorite seasons. Spring is so pretty and warm, but not too warm, and it's just a really fun and loving time. So I wanted to not only embody Easter this month, because Easter is this month, but I also wanted to embody that in my colors. And yes, I am in my closet. It's the only way I could find this top-down view. Though it worked for the view, it didn't work because of this little missus. She is the best cat anyone could ask for. But she does like to be involved in anything and everything that I do. So here she is trying to play with my camera and then trying to play with the rack, I guess you could call it, as well. So she makes me really happy. So I hope seeing her here also brings a little smile to your face. But I'm going to go ahead and bring us back into my bullet journal spread. So back to the color scheme that I've been talking about. So the color scheme that I picked, I did go with a scheme that was inspired by this bouquet of flowers that I bought from Target. I'm not normally one to buy bouquets of flowers, but I thought since I was going to be isolated inside of my house that I would go ahead and pick up some pretty colorful flowers to just embody the time that is outside. Even though I go for walks every night during this isolation, I tend to spend a lot of my time outside anyway, so I wanted to bring that inside my apartment, and I just love the colors of this bouquet, so I thought, why not bring those colors into my bullet journal? And for my colors, I am using the Crayola Super Tip pens. I find that these pens really can allow me to do anything and everything that I want, so I don't find that I have to go out and buy a bunch of money, or I don't have to go out and buy really expensive pens for my bullet journal. I have been bullet journaling for almost 4.5 years, and I've never used anything other than my Crayola Super Tip pens. I love them. I stand by them for my bullet journal. And then the other pen that I use pretty regularly is the Sharpie pen. Nothing really fancy, just a fine tip Sharpie pen. Comes in multiple colors. I like the black pen. It's really the only one I use. I find that these Sharpie pens, they don't really bleed through much at all. Now the Crayola Super Tip pens, as you can see here, they do kind of bleed through if you go over them really dark. So you can see where the top of the hot air balloon You can see more than you can see the bottom part. That's just because in the top part I went over it a lot more. But so this is my monthly spread. This is a spread I do every month. It's actually the exact same spread I've been doing basically for all 4.5 years that I've been bullet journaling. I find it gives me enough space to write down all of my assignments. It gives me enough space to write down whatever is required of me that month, whether that be for school, for work, for teaching yoga, whatever it might be. I find that this spread is what helps benefit me the most, and that's the best part about bullet journaling, is you can find and use what's going to benefit you the most. And as you're starting to notice, my theme this month for the whole Easter theme, I decided to go with bunnies or rabbits or whatever you want to call them. Bunnies are actually the baby rabbit. I didn't know that. I actually ended up looking it up. But anyway, it's just a fun fact. And then you do see me going ahead and filling out just some of the dates in this month in the colors of the color scheme. I did that. I always do that for dates that are going to have big exams or homework due. I like to do this because it'll really set it apart for just coming in with the black marker to fill out the rest of the dates. So going on into my habit tracker. So this is a rather, I don't want to say boring because it's not boring. It gets the job done. But compared to my normal bullet journal habit tracker spread or mood tracker, expense, or any tracker, I tend to do something a little bit more elaborate just because I enjoy coming to this page and filling it out. And when it's something like this, I don't really find that I want to fill this out. I'd rather come in with colors and fill it out as best I can. But with everything going on in the world this month, I just felt really stressed. You can see I added some dates for March. That was just because I wanted to restart when I got back from the small little break that we had. And you can see here in my week that I also went ahead and added that last week of March. Again, that was just because I was feeling really stressed when I got back from being off from school for 2 weeks because of everything going on in the world, and I just really wanted to start new. So instead of coming up with this elaborate scheme, I just one day in March sat down, I was like, okay, I'm gonna restart this month. So I just quickly drew out a monthly planner and I started new. And so moving into my weeks, this is a new weekly spread that I decided to try in March. Sadly, because of everything going on, I wasn't able to ever use one of these spreads. I like to really change up the spreads that I do each month. So for example, in January and February, I did a Dutch door, and I really liked the Dutch door. But again, I just wanted to try something new, keep it fresh in my mind so that I'm not having to look at the same thing every single month. I find that it gets boring, and if I get bored in my bullet journal, then I really don't want to write in my bullet journal. And I think that's the best part about bullet journaling, is you can make it yours. You can make it however you want it to look so that you can come here and be inspired to get things done, be inspired to do whatever it is that you want to do. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be an elaborate scheme. It just has to be that something that makes you happy and makes you want to come to your journal and journal. So yeah, here are the final 2 weeks of March.
There is my setup for my April bullet journal. I really hope you enjoyed and maybe found some inspiration. These types of YouTube videos are actually the reason I started bullet journaling 4.5 years ago. So hopefully you found that inspiration, you found any form of inspiration just to get up and start doing something, whether that's journaling, whether that's getting on your yoga mat or going for a walk, whatever it is in these hard times. I hope you were able to find some inspiration from this video. This bullet journal setup is something that I will continue to do here on my channel. So if you like it and you want to continue to see more, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. Maybe even give me a follow. If not, that's cool. I mean, it's up to you. But anyways, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your week, until next time that I see you all on my channel. All right, bye.